Hello, I am Albalice Smith and I am in Vargas Smith's studio. Who is Vargas Smith's studio? It's me. And I had to clarify this because some of the recruiters I have talked to, they asked me about Vargas Smith's studio. And I have to tell them Vargas Smith's studio, it's just me. It's just me. And who I am? Well, some of you know that I am a middle-aged architect who is taking a sabbatical to work in architecture. I worked for 22 years in the architectural industry, and I am just taking a little break in order to do my own personal projects. And the personal project that I'm working right now is called the Marta Argueta de Vargas Community Art Center. And who is Marta Argueta de Vargas? Marta Argueta de Vargas was my mother. And for people that don't know her, I just can tell you that my mother was an art lover. She loved arts in all its forms, especially the performing arts. And she did everything she could to keep the arts in David, Chiriquí, the Republic of Panama. That was the town that I was born. That's my native town. And I want to honor her because I witnessed from the first row of seats everything that she did in order to keep the art in David. And everybody that knew her can testify about that. So the least I can do for her in her memory is the Marta Argueta de Vargas Community Art Center. And it gives me the excuse to have a project which is very personal to me, and also that I can use to practice my Revit skills. Talking about the Revit skills, everybody knows that when you don't use a software in a daily basis, you just forget, especially people of our age, middle age. I don't feel embarrassed on saying I am a middle-aged architect, but I have to say, we all have to work every day in a software if we don't want it to just go away. Just this year, I went back to school to refresh my Revit knowledge for 2 quarters. And then you think that that will be enough in order to keep you very sharp in Revit. Well, the thing is, I was working very hard. And then after that, for those 2 quarters, I was just working in AutoCAD for the last architectural firm I worked for. And I was without working in Revit for a month and a half, and just AutoCAD. And then for the last couple months, I have been trying to dedicate my time to another endeavors I am pursuing right now. And just also working in just my schematics and my model and my sketches on the canary paper, tracing paper, which by the way, I love it. I love the raw paper or tracing paper. And I just realized that I just opened Revit last week, and it was like I never saw Revit before. Seriously. We don't use software in a daily basis at our age. We perfectly forget. So we need to come up with personal projects that we can practice our skills and keep them polished, because we live in a human world where those kind of skills are necessary in order to have a job. So in this sabbatical, I'm just going to keep pursuing finishing up the Marta Argueta de Vargas Community Art Center. In this video, I just wanted to show you a little bit of what I have been working on right now, and next month I will have the last video with all the last model and the renderings, and I am gonna have the video finished with editing of the step-by-step I use. But for now, I am just want to share with you where I'm right now. I'm gonna try to do this once a week. That also keeps me engaging myself, and also I share with you so that you keep a track of what I have been working on, so that next month for the last video, you just will see the final product and just share a little bit of the tools and other commands I use in Revit. And also, I'm going to share with you some of the problems I have encountered, technical issues with between files from AutoCAD into Revit, and new things that I didn't know, and still I am trying to figure it out. But I just hope you gonna keep track of the work I am doing with this project, which is very personal, which is a dream, which is still I have to analyze from a point of view of the egress path, maximum travel distance, and the occupancy load in order to finalize the number of exit doors the project is going to have. And as you can see, this project is in a star shape, and that has its reason, because I wanted to make the project more flexible in order to have all the study for the egress path and the maximum distance, travel distance, way easier to analyze. If I did the building in a big rectangle, then it will give me a little bit more trouble. Whereas in this way, like a little star shape, parts, holes, as you can see at the next one in the final video, it just will makes a little bit more easier to keep the safety of humans, and also to make the project more flexible to what my original concept is, because I will reveal next month the original concept, why this building was designed in this way. It's not coincidence, or it's not something that came out of just a whim. It just has its reasons, but I will keep it as a little secret to keep you a little bit kind of interested and keep track of these little videos that I am doing. Also, I want to mention that because I am a Generation X middle-aged architect, I learned how to use models and put the hand part of the way that I learned in college was through the kinetic force and making models with mat boards. And right now I am using, instead of mat board and glue, I am just trying to use just something very quick like paper, or that I can bend instead of having to glue it, because in that way it's easier for me. So that the ideas come, and instead of wasting time to glue and cutting with X-Acto knife the mat board, it's easier just to transcend from the folding the paper, using sticks and clay and all the other materials that I'm using, instead of the glue and the mat board. Because of that, I am combining the model making, very quick model making, nothing refined, and also working with my beloved canary paper, where I am tracing and then going to the Revit model. So right now I am just combining all of this. While I work in the model in Revit, I go back to the tracing paper, and then I can also use as a reference my paper model, and in that way, I can tweak all of the in the same time. So I am not just working in Revit plainly. I work in Revit, and then I figured out things, and I get a feeling of the project as I go, because there are some spaces right now, especially the entries of the library, that is still I am still figuring it out. So I am using all those mediums together. So hopefully next week, when I share the next video, the model is going to be more developed, and I will explain what transpired in order to get there. But in the meantime, I just hope that you have a very nice week. to remind all the middle-aged architects that we need to keep it strong, that we need to keep polish our skills, that there are many architectural firms out there looking for architects, but when you have an interview with them, they just tell you, oh, you don't have enough experience with Revit. But hey, hello, we're going to school to learn Revit. We are doing videos about Revit. We are making our personal projects using Revit, and it's not enough to get a job in an architectural firm. In my case, it's not my intention to do this in order to get a job. I am doing all this because I want to do architecture. I want to use all the elements I can use in order to make architecture. And that's what I am taking a sabbatical while making architecture. I really hope you have a good week, and I hope to see you next week.